Jacque Williamson, and I'm the curator of education at the Brandywine Zoo. And we have been monitoring kestrels since 2014. We started our nest box program in 2014. Last year, our program has really gained a lot of momentum in the past couple of years. And last year, we actually have started the Delaware Kestrel Partnership, which is a partnership between a bunch of different organizations here in Delaware. Brandywine Zoo and Delaware Fish and Wildlife are the two main runners of the DKP, but we also work really closely with Delaware State Parks. The Brandywine is part of Delaware State Parks. This facility, Bluebell Barn, is part of Delaware State Parks as well. We are at Alapocus State Parks right now. So Delaware State Parks, Delaware Fish and Wildlife, Brandywine Zoo, Tri-State Bird Rescue, and we also work really closely with a lot of our DOS people, Delmarva Ornithological Society, and we have a really great subset of land partners that have allowed us to put boxes out on their land, from Delaware Wildlands to the Nature Conservancy, to all different kinds of organizations and private land ownership across the state. So I'm here today to talk to you guys about basic natural history for kestrels. I'm sure a lot of this is going to be common for everybody in the room, but just to kind of give a refresher. Let's see, I don't want to get my face on the microphone. That would be amazing. So what we have is our beautiful little American kestrel here. So to start off, we're going to talk a little bit about distribution. There are 13 species of kestrels across the world, and the American kestrel is the only one found in the Western Hemisphere. These kestrels, American kestrels, permanently reside in all or part of 35 of the 48 contiguous United States and are found everywhere from the Arctic Circle down to Tierra del Fuego. They are found in the West Indies on the one and in the Juan Fernandez Islands off the coast of Chile, and they're found at elevations from below sea level to above 4,300 meters in the Andes Mountains. So these guys are really adaptable in a wide variety of habitats. So there are 17 subspecies of kestrels. I am not going to go through and read all the names to you, but you can see they're found, again, from our North American kestrel subspecies up here in North America all the way down into South America. And kestrels in the northern end, as John already kind of covered this morning, in the northern end and the southernmost parts of the range tend to migrate towards the equator, and those birds that are living more closely to the equator tend to be more resident populations than migratory. There's always those outliers and exceptions to the rule. So as far as taxonomy goes for American kestrels, there's been some recent studies that have shown that, unlike they were most commonly thought to be more related to the common kestrel, which is found in the Old World, new genetic studies have shown that these guys are probably more likely related to our North American falcons, the peregrine, appomatto, and that family of falcons instead. As far as morphology goes, these guys are about the size of a blue jay or dove. They're the most colorful of raptors in North America, and they're also sexually dimorphic. Their face features have those two dark racing stripes on them. We always liken that in the zoo field when we're interpreting to kids as the marks that football players put under their eyes as kind of sun glare. They have the ocelli marks on the backs of their heads. Males have the brilliant blue-gray wings and crowns and rufous tail and the single broad subterminal black band on their tail. Females have the rufous wings and crowns and black bars across their wings and tails. Females are about 10% heavier than their male counterparts, and juveniles of both sexes closely resemble adult females until the adult plumage comes in. Interestingly, a study by Bostrom and Hutchison has correlated positive size in males and their territory to skin color. So there's been some really interesting studies looking at success rates of males in attracting females and defending territories as related to those two interesting characteristics. When we're talking about habitat for American kestrels, they're found in almost every habitat type within their range, including fields, cities, deserts, plains, mountains, tropical lowlands. They need that open land for hunting, tall sites for perching, and cavities for nesting. They're found in both natural and man-made habitats. They love to be in meadows and areas of early succession, marshlands, grasslands, savannas, deserts, open pine forests, mixed woods and grasslands. But when we're talking about man-made habitats, they like pastures and agriculture, parks, heavily developed urban areas, including vacant building sites in cities, airfields, athletic fields, cemeteries, power line corridors. So since kestrels don't construct their own nests, they have to search for cavities where they can lay their eggs, and they'll do that wherever they can. Again, they can be naturally in trees. They're going to be secondary nesters following woodpeckers or other abandoned nests, squirrel nests, things like that, or in man-made structures, including but not limited to nest boxes, which makes them so great for study. When we talk about diet, kestrels eat a variety of arthropods, but have been also known to take small reptiles, take birds if they're specializing in hunting them, and especially small mammals as well. Their diet changes seasonally, so in the summertime they tend to eat more of those insects and invertebrates, and then in the wintertime they're feeding mostly on rodents and birds because the bugs just typically aren't available during those colder times of the year. So they have the ability to hunt from perches, which is preferable for them so that they can sit out on a perch, look around, and really spot for their prey. But they also have this incredible ability to hover in the air, and they will turn into the wind, and it's almost this gyroscopic effect where their head doesn't move, it stays stationary, and their body is adjusting to the wind. And it's pretty incredible ability to do that. And when they're doing this, when they're hunting and they're perched up on either power lines or trees, up on some kind of snag, or they're hovering, they have the ability to see in UV, so they can see the urine trails of their mammalian prey, and they're picking up on those urine trails that are leading to dens or underground burrows and things like that, the food that they're hunting. I'm going to go through reproduction a little quickly because I'm sure a lot of people are going to be talking about nests and eggs and things like that. So yes, they're secondary nesters. They typically are monogamous, but in flush times, males have been known to potentially keep several females, especially if humans are involved in supplementing their food. There have been some really interesting anecdotal studies and anecdotal stories about seeing male kestrels with more than one nest if they're a superior hunter or if they're being supplemented with some food, so it's not unheard of. But again, populations may be limited in areas due to availability of nest sites or availability of that prey as well. So they will readily use man-made options. You can see here nesting in cityscapes and any nook or cranny that they can possibly find. Unlike their peregrine cousins and some of their other falcon cousins that will nest on cliff sides, these guys really like those cavities. But they still will find those cavities in cities, like the peregrines sometimes will in cities as well, and really find that those little nooks and crannies that kind of nest in, and if there's food available, they're going to stay there. So, as John mentioned this morning, clutch sizes are typically about 5 eggs. In times when food is more available, they're going to lay larger eggs and more eggs than when food is reduced in an area. And eggs producing males have been documented to be significantly smaller than eggs producing females, so you're even seeing that dimorphism in the eggs. And egg sizes will increase when there's prey abundance as well. So females will remain with the chicks for the first 1 to 2 weeks after hatching, and the male is primarily doing the hunting at this time. And then after that point, when the chicks can be left alone, both male and female are out hunting and trying to feed those ravenous little mouths. Nestlings are sexually dimorphic, with the females being larger, and hatching asynchrony has been documented in these guys, and it's really related to prey abundance. The more prey there is, the closer in time the eggs will hatch, or the eggs are laid and then they'll hatch, versus less prey abundance means a little bit wider range of that asynchrony, the hatching of the chicks. Fledging occurs at 28 to 31 days, and parents will continue to feed their young and offspring for about 12 days post-fledging. Juveniles will even gather together in groups, and they'll be with other hatchier individuals that are unrelated to them. And so these guys will get together. Parents may supplement their food while they're still, getting their hunting skills fine-tuned as well. And second clutches are most likely when the first attempt fails, but again, in glut years, you may see kestrels actually raising 2 broods. So morbidity and mortality, average mortality rate is an average of 57%. Major causes of death can include collision with traffic and people-related things, illegal shooting in traffic, impacts in buildings, things like that. Predation. These guys are really susceptible to pesticide accumulation, especially since the diet primarily in the summertime. It includes a lot of invertebrates, and they're living in ag fields and things like that. Diseases are, typical bird diseases: tuberculosis, tryptomoniasis, coccidia, aspergillus, West Nile, avian influenza. So we're looking at a lot of factors that are attributing to their death rates, including all of our fun predators, and this is not even all of them. So being, the smallest falcon in North America, they have a lot of larger birds of prey that may be sharing territory with them, maybe hunting them, in addition to other predators that may be taking young out of nests or taking juveniles, but they're most susceptible to being exposed to predators. So in Delaware, after our last VBS, that was completed in 2012, the data that came back from that resulted in Delaware listing the kestrel as endangered in Delaware. And to my knowledge, I think we're the only state that has them listed as endangered. New Jersey has them listed as threatened. Connecticut has them listed as threatened. Pennsylvania has them listed as a species of conservation concern. And the subspecies Paulus is listed as threatened in Florida. So, again, there's a lot of limiting factors. We are hoping to find out what is happening to our kestrels here in Delaware. And, we've all seen this lovely chart, and I'm sure we'll talk a lot more about decline and studies going into why these animals are declining across the range. But, it's something that we want to examine here in Delaware and look at what our limiting factors are specifically for our state in comparison to some of the surrounding states that are doing studies as well. And my list of fun references. This will also be available on our website when we post all the videos for the symposium. So in the interest of time, I'm going to pass it off to Sarah. So our next speaker is Dr. Sarah Schulwitz. She's the Assistant Director of the Peregrine Funds American Kestrel Partnership. So she's going to come